Good afternoon once again. My name is Rob Tiffin. I'm president of the Tamara Gordon Foundation, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome all of you here this afternoon to what is a very important inaugural event for us. This is the first awards reception for the Tamara Gordon Foundation to recognize our inaugural recipients of Tamara Gordon Foundation Awards. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming here tonight because it is so important to all of us. We're here especially tonight to recognize 3 exemplary students. We have a total of 6 award recipients this year. 3 were able to join us this evening, and this truly is an opportunity for us to recognize those individuals that we know are going to be making a difference within their community, within their school, but we also have a great deal of confidence in these individuals that they will be making a difference and making a significant contribution to society once they've completed their academic studies. I'd like to just begin by recognizing the board members that we have with us this evening, starting with Tamara, of course, who you're going to be meeting a little bit later. Marcia Gordon, her mother, is at the back. Just wave, Marcia. Kyla Baxter is here this evening. Roma Hewitt is at the back. Marva Amour is also at the back. And unfortunately, some of the members that are not able to join us this evening, Mr. Alfred Quint, who unfortunately is in the hospital, Mr. Osmond Lyons, Ms. Jacoda. Oh, Osmond, you're here. Sorry, I didn't see you earlier. Osmond Lyons is at the back. And Mark Wilczewski, who is just joining the board, is not able to be with us this evening. I first met Tamara approximately 11 years ago when she was a first-year student at York University, and in fact, it was my first year at York as well. And certainly in my time at York University as the Vice President of Students, I had occasion to meet and work with a large number of students. And one of the things that struck me about Tamara was her very positive attitude, her tenacity, and her commitment to overcoming whatever obstacles she might encounter. Over the years, I watched her employ her intelligence and skills to succeed and graduate from York with honors on the Dean's Honors List. And I then watched her go on to pursue employment with TD Canada Trust. The other thing that I recognized in Tamara very early is her commitment to supporting and giving back to the community. And she has been focused on helping those with physical disabilities. So Tamara was committed to establishing its charitable foundation once she graduated, and I was delighted to take up her invitation to join her in making that vision become a reality. And it took over 2 years to actually get to that point. And we just received charitable status earlier this year so that we were able to undertake our fundraising activities. And it's now been brought to fruition this year with the assistance of our board of directors and many donors, so that we now have our first award recipients that we are recognizing today. And we know that they're going to be great ambassadors for the foundation as well. I should also mention that the foundation is committed not only to providing financial assistance to students to complete their post-secondary education, but also to assist students with physical disabilities make the transition to employment. And that's especially critical given some statistics that I'll just share with you. These are quite sobering. There's a real education gap. Proportionally, adults with disabilities are only about half as likely to get their post-secondary education and degrees as adults without disabilities. There are also significant wage gaps. Adults with disabilities generally have lower median household incomes than adults without disabilities. Also, the unemployment rate for people with disabilities is higher than the Canadian average. Overall, 8.5% more men with disabilities are settling for part-time work because they cannot find full-time work, compared to adult men without disabilities, and proportionally 6.5% more women with disabilities work part-time but want to work full-time. The Tamara Gordon Foundation firmly believes that education is critical to changing that. And that's why we're here to provide financial support. The other thing is that many companies aren't hiring individuals with disabilities. Only 3 in 10 small business owners hired people with disabilities in 2013. And that's according to a recent survey from the Bank of Montreal Financial Group. And the study found that the majority of small businesses have never hired a person with a visible or invisible disability. The Tamara Gordon Foundation wants to change that. We want to reduce those statistics. So let me begin by starting off our program this evening. I'm delighted to introduce Mr. Xavier Walker, who is Marcia Gordon's grandson. Thank you, Xavier. Great way to start off the event. I'd now like to introduce Tamara Gordon, who will give you an overview and a bit of history of the foundation and her own personal story.
Good evening, everyone. I am Tamara Gordon and the Vice President and founder of the Tamara Gordon Foundation. To all the dignitaries, Board of Directors, recipients, your family and friends, media, and other invited guests, thank you all for coming to support this foundation as we celebrate with our first set of scholarship recipients. Please give them a big round of applause. To the students, congratulations on all your hard work and on being chosen as the first recipients of this scholarship. I'm extremely proud of each of you for not giving up on account of your physical disabilities. You are all great students who have displayed such true grit and deep resolve in being able to achieve so much. Thank you for allowing the Tamara Gordon Foundation to be a part of your journey as you aspire to greater heights. You are encouraged to do as this song says: climb every mountain, forge every stream, follow every rainbow till you find your dream. We wish you all the best in your future years of education and ultimately your careers. Be advised that you are all eligible to reapply for another scholarship every fall semester. For the benefit of our invited guests, I'll briefly explain how this foundation came into being. For those of you who are not familiar with my story, I'll take you back a little over a decade ago. I was a vibrant teenager who played many sports. My biggest passion was basketball. It was February 13th, 2002, at the tender age of 16, while on my high school's senior skiing trip, I was having a great time when suddenly tragedy struck. I met into a horrific accident while skiing down a hill. It was an accident that completely changed my life. I sustained a debilitating brachial plexus injury to my left shoulder, which means all the nerves were pulled out of my spinal cord, and I can no longer use my dominant left hand. I also sustained a spinal cord injury at the T5, T7 level, which left me paralyzed completely from my waist down. Later that same year, I developed a serious case of diabetes that at the time affected my eyesight. Initially, after my accident, I was given little or no chance to live. Then, I was given no chance of functioning normally again. You can't was the diagnosis of the medical practitioners. You can't is what I was told, but you can't is for quitters. You can't is for people who want to give up. In spite of all that, with the unwavering support of family and friends, together with God's amazing grace and mercy, I mustered the determination not to quit. Needless to say, I had to make major adjustments to my lifestyle in order for me to successfully complete my education and get into the workforce. With the good Lord's help, that's exactly what I did, and that's how I'm able to be here with you all today. In retrospect, after I suffered that debilitating accident, it took me a while before I fully realized that if I'm going to succeed in life, I will have to learn to turn my setbacks into success and stay the course. I want everyone to shout, "Stay the course." Stay the course. Come on, guys. You can do better than that. Stay the course. Stay the course. Much better. As you can see, this was an enormous setback, but in life, it is not what happens to you that determines your success, but what happens within you. One of my favorite quotations states, "What lies around us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies inside of us." If you believe that, you will look at life differently, no matter what happens to you. Understandably, my life has been dramatically changed. I am now totally restricted and completely dependent on someone else to help me do almost everything. Imagine the emotional and psychological trauma I experienced, as well as the physical shift that took place in my life. I'm confined to a wheelchair, but thank God my mind is free. My mind is not restricted because of my body, and a very important lesson here is that sometimes in the twinkling of an eye, our lives can be completely changed. When I had my accident, I was immediately faced with two choices. I could give up, accept defeat, or I could stay the course and keep fighting. I think you can guess what I decided to do just by my presence here. When I left the hospital, I wasn't able to sit up by myself, but I was determined to stay the course. I was transferred to the Toronto Rehabilitation Institute Lyndhurst Center, and while there, I discovered the Board of Education operated a classroom. I immediately contacted the teacher, got registered, and was able to continue and complete my education and attain my high school credits. Due to the fact that I wasn't very mobile, I couldn't do a lot for myself. However, I was determined to finish high school and graduate with my graduation class. When I had to struggle through all the things I did, I came to realize that things I used to worry about were just small things. What I used to regard as a problem was nothing but a minor inconvenience. There's an attitude adjustment and experience you experience when you have to deal with life and death issues, and it can help you mature very quickly. In spite of all the challenges I faced, all the obstacles I had to deal with, I stayed the course and I hung in there. And now I'm proud and happy to say that I completed my high school education as an Ontario scholar, but I did not stop there. That might have been good enough for some people, but that was not good enough for me. I wanted to challenge myself. My body was paralyzed, but my mind was not. I refused to use paralysis as an excuse to stop achieving. I applied for admission to attend university and got accepted to 3 reputable universities on scholarships. At York, I accepted the one from York University in 2003. At York, they offered me nothing but opportunities and encouragement. I worked diligently for what I achieved. They were tough, but fair, and I'm glad they didn't baby me, because in the real world, life outside the university doors, many of you know this already, no one is going to take the time to baby you. It is when I went to York University to complete my Bachelor of Administrative Studies specialized honor degree that the idea of this foundation was birthed within me. While there, I was elected as the undergraduate representative for students with disabilities. This afforded me the unique opportunity to frequently liaise with students who would advise me of their concerns. That gave me important issues to report to the Access York meetings. My dedicated mother, Marcy, who attended classes with me to help me with note-taking, was by my side when these conversations took place. We We often heard stories of the students having to drop out or take a year or two off because they couldn't find funding to pay for their tuition, textbooks, tutoring, transportation expenses, and other things. And that was very disheartening to me. I would encourage them to apply for scholarships, but unfortunately, a lot of them found it really hard to find ones that were available specifically for students with physical disabilities. This strengthened my passion and deep concern to have their needs addressed. Up until then, my goal was to register in law school and become a lawyer. However, I told my mom I wanted to put going to law school off in order to start a foundation to help students with physical disabilities. She did not only agree, but supported me wholeheartedly. We discussed it at length and prayed about it. We had to endure and overcome some trying times, but by the grace of God, together with determination and true grit, we persevered. The Tamara Gordon Foundation became a reality in December 2013 when we received our charitable number. We have an amazing board of directors who are dedicated in sharing our vision, and we look forward to being around for years to come to help as many students with physical disabilities as possible. I'd like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank my mom for all her hard and dedicated work in helping me to establish this foundation. Also, Mr. Tiffin, the president of the foundation, for his unwavering support, guidance, encouragement, direction in making our dream a reality. Could you please give them a round of applause? During my school tenure, I received over 60 scholarships, medals, awards, certificates, and distinctions. This includes the 2003 Lieutenant Governor of Ontario Award for volunteering, the 2007 African Canadian Achievement Award, the 2009 Ontario Medal for Young Volunteers, the Toronto Raptors Community MVP Award, and in 2009 I was a member of the Change the World Youth Advisory Committee and the representative from the City of Markham. In May 2012, the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Medal was presented to me by His Royal Highness Prince Charles of Wales at Queen's Park. My employment history also actually started out when I received a scholarship. I was one of the top 2 recipients of the 2004 TD Canada Trust Bank scholarships. Along with the financial award, I was given the opportunity for summer internship at a TD bank. In August 2006, I completed my first internship at one of the banks close to home, and the experience was awesome. Upon the completion of my summer internship, and because I did well on my job, the manager of the bank offered me a part-time regular position. And I'm happy to say that I'm still currently employed as a customer relations coordinator at a branch close to my home in Markham. At this time, I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize Ms. Kyla Baxter of Baxter Structures for sponsoring this event, and also Mr. Quinter of the law firm Singer Quinter Personal Injury Lawyers. Many of you may have seen me advertising for his law firm on CP24 and City Pulse. Singer Quinter Personal Injury Lawyers spearheaded the team along with Baxter Structures that represented me after my skiing accident. Sincere gratitude goes to them for their representation, encouragement, and moral support. Both Ms. Baxter and Mr. Quinter are directors on my foundation's board. Unfortunately, Mr. Quinter is not well and wasn't able to join us this evening, but 2 key members from the law team are here, and I'd like to ask Mr. Jason Katz and Mr. Shane Katz from Singer Quinter Personal Injury Lawyers and Ms. Kyla Baxter to please stand, and let's give them a big round of applause. In conclusion, this foundation is all about enabling and empowering students with physical disabilities, also to encourage and support those who are struggling to achieve their goals because they have physical disabilities. Special thanks goes to the pastor and board of directors of this church, Malvern Christian Assembly, for allowing us to hold and host this event at this facility. Once more, I would like to sincerely thank you all for taking the times out of your busy schedule to come out and support this foundation and support these students with physical disabilities who are trying to better themselves and continue their education and make their stamp in the world. I hope that you continue to support us, and I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your evening. May God bless you all. Thank you very much.
We've had a tremendous amount of support for this event, and for the foundation. And we were sent a number of greetings by various individuals that included the Honourable John McCollum, who is the MP for Markham and Unionville. We've also received greetings from Michael Coutu, the MPP, for Don Valley East. And tonight we also have with us the Honourable Arnold Chan, who's in the audience with us tonight, and he made a special point of actually coming out because of his support for students with disabilities and recognizing the work that the foundation does. So thank you so much for coming here this evening. I now want to turn to the most important part of this evening, and that's actually recognizing the recipients of the award. So at this point, if I call your name, if you could please come forward, and I could ask Kyla to join me, please. And I wonder if, Arnold, you could join us at this point as well. So our first recipient is Winnica Matthews, and Tamara's joining us as well. Winnica Matthews, who is attending Centennial College, is the recipient of the Tamara Gordon Award of Excellence. Winnica, can I offer you the opportunity to make a few comments?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm very honored to be one of the recipients of the Tamara Gordon Scholarship. This year, I went through something very tragic. My mom had passed away in July, and I didn't anticipate on that happening at all. It was very sudden, and there was no preparing for it. I'm in my second year of college, and I heard that this semester would have been the hardest one, and I do find it very hard. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I do find it very hard, but I do strive to complete college to make sure that I can help my father support our family and strive for the best and maintain my 4.0. Thank you very much.
Our next recipient is Melanie Wilkinson. And Melanie is a student at Ontario College of Art and Design University. Melanie?
Hi. A couple of years ago, I contracted bacterial meningitis, and because of it, I was paralyzed in a wheelchair for 2.5 months. And through rigorous physiotherapy, I'm lucky to be walking, and although I still struggle every day, I'm now in school for art, and I'm very excited about it. I'd like to thank the Tamara Gordon Foundation very much.
And our third recipient is Mr. Dean Wardock. Dean is attending Sheridan College.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Tamara Gordon Foundation, and all of the donators for making this award possible. I'm so thankful to live in one of the greatest countries in the world because they offer such great supports for people with a disability. But you know what? The word disability doesn't mean a thing to me because the disability shouldn't even be there because us people with disabilities still have some abilities to offer, and our abilities are gonna change the world one day. Just look at Tamara Gordon, Stephen Hawking, Rick Hansen, Terry Fox, and all the great things that they've accomplished. And I'm not sure if you noticed, 3 of the 4 people I mentioned are Canadian. So that just shows Canada, we are producing some good things for the world. So I'm sure I can speak for all the recipients here today that we are absolutely honored to receive this award. And trust me, and we are not going to disappoint you because I am aiming to get at least 80% in all of my classes. And you will see in my application next year if I achieve my goal. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dean. I think maybe you should be studying marketing. Anyways, thank you very much for your participation. As I mentioned, we've received a number of greetings and demonstrating strong support for the foundation. And I wanted to just take a moment at this point in time. Okay, sorry. We have one other. We've got a number of others that I believe that Melanie has not received, and this is also from the we have greetings from the mayor of the city of Markham, Frank Scarpini.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Markham County,
we are all awake now.
the 2014 Tamara Gordon Foundation Gala. I am honored to be speaking about Tamara and her foundation. Tamara truly exemplifies courage, tenacity, and vision. As many of you know, in 2002, a tragic ski accident left Tamara paralyzed. And notwithstanding this huge life-changing event, she never gave up. She decided to continue with her post-secondary education. And now, Tamara is the recipient of over 60 academic scholarships and recently received a Diamond Jubilee Medal awarded from His Royal Highness Prince Charles of Wales. She gave back to ensure that other disabled youth could also realize their dreams and their full potential. And that's why we're here this evening, to honor the first scholarship recipients. Congratulations to you all. Each of you have worked so incredibly hard and have overcome incredible adversity. And yet, in many ways, your journey has just begun. Take advantage of this opportunity that the Tamara Gordon Foundation has given to you. Become leaders in your post-secondary education schools. Make new friends. Take advantage of the new learning opportunities. Work hard, but have fun. All of you tonight are in the presence of the best, the brightest, and the boldest. I congratulate the award winners and applaud the resilience of each and every one of you. You reinforce the cultural and social fabric of our communities. You're role models for all of us, and we look up to you. Thank you for inspiring me and others in the community. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
what I'd like to do now is turn to our keynote speaker. Ms. Nancy Zia is with us this evening, and she herself has experienced a number of challenges in her life, and she is now working as a community resource and education assistant, and I believe that she has a fairly important message to share with us tonight. So if I could call upon Nancy to come forward, please.
Hi, I feel so humbled to be here, and thank you, Tammy, for giving me this opportunity to share my experience as a student living with disabilities. About 11 years ago, I sustained a spinal cord injury when I was 18. I was very depressed at the time, so the injury was a result of a suicide attempt. At the time, I just finished my high school, and I was accepted by U of T, and because of my injury, I have to take a year off to focus on rehabilitation. Like many people living with a disability, it took a lot of time to adapt my life as someone with disabilities. And on top of my physical ordeal, I also suffered mentally. I was struggling with depression for almost half of my life, and there was a lot of resentment, a lot of regret as a result of that suicide attempt. So in 2004, I went back to school as a first-year student in U of T. The first day of school, I bumped into two people who used to go to the same high school with me, and they were so surprised just to see me in a wheelchair and how different I had become after gaining about 60 pounds. So I was very embarrassed seeing those people. And fortunately, they were very nice to me. They had always been very nice to me throughout high school. But I realized that I would be seen by people who knew about my past and who had very little compassion towards me. So I wasn't looking forward to seeing those people in school. And before long, and I just realized how difficult it was being one of the few people in a wheelchair try to struggle my way through first year university. And especially sometimes seeing people holding hands with their boyfriends and girlfriends. Everybody seems to belong to some kind of entourage, and also knowing that people are partying or getting wasted. I just felt I was very jealous of everybody else. But one time, my dad told me that the reason you go to school is not making friends or expanding your social circle. You are there to learn. So after realizing that, my attitude changed a little bit. And then in 2007, my psychiatrist was able to find the right type of medication for my mental health condition, and from that point on, I started to recover, and I was happier, I was refreshed, and I started to turn myself around, and I lost about 60 pounds, and life was just better afterwards. And in 2011, I was able to graduate from U of T with a psychology major, and I'm now working for spinal cord injury material, and I love my job. Thank you. Yeah, I love my job, I love my life, and I'm going to Vegas next week and partying like a freshman, finally. So my message for everybody here is just be patient in suffering and know what's important in life, and never give up. I never thought that I would have a day like this when I tried to end my life 11 years ago. So I'm just so grateful each day for my blessing and for God's grace. And throughout my 7 years of university, I had received several scholarships from different community foundations, and I'm so grateful for that. It was a great help to support my tuition. And I also really look up to Tammy. I'm really just impressed by her faith, her strength, and her ability. And I'm just, congratulations on having this foundation. You're truly amazing and an inspiration to everybody here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Are we having a good time? Go, Leafs, go, right? My name is Marva Amour, and I am one of the directors on the Tammy Gordon Foundation. That sounds good. Tammy Gordon Foundation. Let's give a round for that. And you know what? It's not just something we're saying, it's official. It's bona fide, it's registered. And I know it's a very hard thing to attain because I've been on a number of other groups that have been struggling for years to come to that point. I am scheduled to do the thank you, and I'd like to invite Miss Nancy to come forward, please, and Miss Tammy.
Hi, everyone. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, Nancy, for taking time out to come and share your story with us. And on behalf of the foundation, we wanted to give you these flowers. Thank you very much.
I just want to say to Nancy, that's a tropical plant, and that's as close as we can come to taking you to the Caribbean, right? So enjoy that. Also, I'd like to invite Marcia to come up to present this award to Melanie. This is a special award.
Congratulations, Melanie, for this award. It's from Gary O'Neill Award, and it was donated by the International Union of Operation 793. And Gary's family are not able to be here, so they had asked me to present it to you.
So I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to go down the program to say thanks to make sure I miss no one. First of all, thank you all for coming. It's very kind of you on this beautiful summer fall afternoon to take the time out to come out and celebrate these young people, remarkable young people, who in spite of curves in their abilities are choosing to move forward. A very special thank you to the MC. Hasn't he done a great job? I'm his manager, he's up for bookings. And young people, I'm gonna go down the list here. I've read your resumes. Remarkable, absolutely remarkable, unstoppable, fearless, awesome. You were given a good word from Nancy and from Tammy earlier. Don't give up. It's not an option. You're not allowed to. It's not in your vocabulary. So thanks again for making it here today. And there's one other young man who indicated just a few minutes before that he couldn't come, and two others who live quite far away. But thank you all for showing the interest in education and to going after scholarships. The video from the mayor is coming. But on your program, you'll see there are a number of others who have sent greetings on page 6. So we would like to thank all of these folks here who have taken time out to indicate to Tammy and to the foundation their interest. And I do know that they follow the activities as we keep in touch with them. And a very, very big thank you to you, Nancy, because usually to get a speaker, you've got to make your request weeks and months ahead. But you were so accommodating, so flexible, and so very strong in your presentation. Your message was for each and every one of us as human beings. So we received that, and we gave our love back to you. Thanks so very much. And after Nancy, I see Marva, so I want to thank Marva. Should I? No, that's bad manners. Very special thanks to the church. And a very special thanks also to Glenn, who's been doing the sound, and he's been doing the very best he can. There are always limitations in whatever we do. So we want to thank Glenn for all of his efforts today on the sound. A very big thank you to all of our donors, and they are listed on page 10. No, on page 8. All of our donors and sponsors are listed there. We want to give a very big thank you to them. And it's not difficult to get your name. Tell me. It's not difficult to have your name added to the donor and sponsor list. You just need to let us know. You make your appropriate donation, and you will be listed among those elite people. Okay, that'll be for the next time. Our photographer or videographer, we have 2 photographers. We want to thank them very, very much. For many people who have donated food today, a very special thanks to them. For the board members who give tirelessly all the time, we want to thank you all too very, very much. You'll notice in the program a mention of the gala. We don't have a date yet, but it's coming, so stay tuned. And we were able to capture your information, so we will be in touch with you. You can expect that. And students, please stay in touch. We want to know how you're doing, what you're doing, just so we can be praying for you and be encouraging you. Okay, so feel free. In fact, we would really love it if you stayed in touch with us. Okay? I know one of the things that's being planned is to have a newsletter, so that way we will let you know what's going on at our end. I think it's appropriate that we say thank you to 2 very, very special people. One lady is Marcia Gordon. She's the mother of Tammy. And Tammy has said it so often that her mom is instrumental in much that she's been able to accomplish since her accident. So Marcia, a very, very big thank you for all you've been doing through the years. And all that you did to help this particular activity to take place today. And any media present, we want to thank you. We're not sure of who is here. We will follow up on that. A very big thank you. And Tammy Gordon, thank you. You are a trooper. We really appreciate and admire you. But it's one thing to feel good about what Tammy does, but also to understand in terms of depth how difficult it is also for her. She wants to do it and she does it, but it's not easy. Even, I'll give you an example with this event here. There are times that her mom would get home 2 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning from taking people home who were helping. And Tammy would not sleep until her mom got home. So she is not just a face here, she is very much invested and vested in the foundation and helping others, So a very big thank you to you. I know they say, and the young shall lead. And often a young person can show us just how we should be leading our lives. Xavier Walker is a 16-year-old young man who was given very short notice because there were other plans and they didn't come to fruition. And without hesitation, 16-year-old Xavier, on your feet, maybe just overnight, just last night, or the day before. This is Tammy's niece, nephew. Okay, hold a second. Xavier Walker is a 16-year-old young man who is Tammy's nephew. And he played for us tonight a song called Andante Bore. He is a high school student in Michigan, and they drove in last night. And that was the bass clarinet, and that was excellent. 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 Our MP, Mr. Chen, all the way from Scarborough. We want to thank you so very much for taking the time, because you know you have a very busy schedule. So thanks again so very much.
My daughter Rosemary came in this morning from the States with the programs, so I just want to say thank you.
pleased to come forward, Ms. Tamara Gordon and Ms. Marcia Gordon. With love from all of us, from the board. Marcia, thanks for all you do. And I know you're not going to stop. Thank you so much. Ms. Tammy Gordon. Thank you for persevering and serving, even through pain. You say by your life that nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. You will not give up. You're not a quitter. You're a fighter. But you do it with such warmth, with such depth, with such sincerity, with such clarity also, because you know exactly what you're doing. You know what you want to do, and you go after it. Contacting all the MPs and all of those dignitaries. You stop at nothing. So all the very best, and thanks again so much. You are the personification of the foundation. Thank you.
I want to say congratulations to all the students and all the parents, all the visitors, but I see someone very special here this afternoon, and that's Tammy's doctor from the rehab. Dr. Craven, could you please stand? Thank you very much for coming. And Kyla, I want to say thank you for sponsoring this afternoon. And Shine and Jason, I want to say thank you as well to the Singer Quintet team.
Thanks very much. We've essentially reached the end of our formal program for this evening, but before we break, I really do want us all to give our recipients and recognize them a strong vote of applause. We wish you all the best. We count on you. We know that you are going to make a difference in the future. So, first of all, please be strong ambassadors for the Tamara Gordon Foundation. We look forward to your applications next year. We do want to hear from you what's going on, how you're doing. And as Tamara encouraged you earlier this evening, stay the course. So this is the end of our formal program, but as you can see, we do have some food here. So I would encourage all of you to please partake of the food that we have, get an opportunity to meet our recipients, chat with them, get to know them better. I'd encourage you to introduce yourself to one other person, at least one other person that you don't know tonight. Thanks very much for coming. We really appreciate the support that we've had. Thanks very much.